Welcome, family. I was in deep thought today, and I wanted to tell you how much is hitting me that since 2020, give or take a few months, when we had to wear those masks, we haven't had a break. We have been in a perpetual state of trauma ever since. Seriously. And it's never ended. I mean, the result is that we can physically be near each other, but we're so divided. Black people are more divided now than we ever been before. And we've allowed different ideologies. We've allowed different perspectives. We've allowed simple things that have gotten to us this way. And it has turned us against our families, our friends, where decades ago, I can say, for the time that I've been on this earth, but for many, many years ago, it could be where you have disagreements, you agree to disagree, but you still loved your family. You still loved your friends. You might rag them on something that they have a difference on and make a joke out of it, but you still had a connection. But now, it seems like we're all running around here like an island. And as they say, you know, no man is an island. But what are we going to do? Are we going to continue to allow the artificial man-made world to drive a wedge into us when we are the most resilient people on the face of the earth after all we've gone through over the last 400, 500, whatever years? And we let this petty, changed frequency, foolishness, manipulations get to us at the core. Because what is being done to us now, while we don't have chains around our wrists, around our ankles, around our stomachs, and around our necks, those chains are gone. But they're chains here. This enemy of ours, and you know who they are, they've taken the game of enslaving us to a whole new level. And we don't see it. We think because we can buy nice homes, drive nice cars, walk down the street pretty much, and I said pretty much because we can still get shot and killed. And just like the gentleman who just got executed, even after the DA, the judge, I'm going to talk about that. Don't think I'm quiet about that. I'm going to talk about that possibly tonight. I've been very, very, very busy. I haven't even been doing the lives like I'm supposed to. And those of you who know me personally, you know what's going on. And it's all positive. And we're making big, great strides, but many surprises coming soon. But are we really free? We're turned in on each other. I mean, we are the greatest. Not because of the punishment that we've endured, but because of that. That's one aspect of it. We've had to endure so much, yet we still have this great thing about us that shines out. That we should be out of our minds in what we're coming into in this world right now. But we're not. We dance, we laugh, we create, we find a way to make it. But these days, it doesn't seem as though we're exhibiting that particular trait of finding a way to make it. There are others in the world who tell you every single chance they get how terrible their ordeal has been, and while they will tell you to never forget, when it comes time for us to even just speak on what we continue to go through, we are told, oh, it's the past. It's the past. But you who claim that we should never forget about what you went through, you have your names. You have your family. Yes, you lost some, but we lost our identity. We've been tortured, and we are continue to be tortured in a system now that is very lucrative to you because you're paid well off of our talents, abilities, and so-called stars. But you still complain that we should never forget. But our exploitation that lasts to this very day on so many different levels as we separate from each other. It used to be where a man can come home and catch hell in the world and come home to a loving home. I'm not pitting the sexes against each other. I'm just saying that now, lots of times he has to come home to more chastisement and more cackling because of what the enemy has put in your woman's head to look at you as though you're less than a man because you can't keep up with what she sees on TV and on social media. This is not all women. My hat's off to the women who know, the sisters who know. And now they planted that seed in your sister. And now they're going to make it seem now as though you're less than a man. They've changed the frequencies of the music. They look, I didn't even know. What's the name of the song? I just finished looking at it and sharing it with friends, and we were all shocked. The Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G. He was in a video where there was a scene. Maybe I could take a still shot and show you. And I'll get the name as I process this video to upload. There was a scene in the bathroom where there were 3 urinals. And there was, on each of the outside urinals, there were 2 men urinating in the bathroom. And in the middle, there was what appeared to be a woman in a dress. And she was standing up and urinating. Obviously from a penis. And they looked at her and walked away. She was in the video again. And everybody was trying to talk to him. Notorious B.I.G. pushed everybody away and was in her face. And there's another scene where she was in the bed with him. Quick. All this stuff happened quick. The subliminals. They let you know that that was not a woman. And they put these flashes. I didn't catch it. I love the song. But my mold is already set. My mold is already set. Like concrete, when you set the mold and you put the cones around it and the yellow tape, don't walk on it, wet concrete. Well, you can step all over me all you want. Symbolically, on a mental level, my mind is hardened into what's proper. But what about our young children? And we can't even just say now, look at those kind of things that were out in the 90s. Right? Because Notorious B.I.G. was murdered in 97. We're coming up on 30 years. 3 more years. It'll be 30 years. But they've been trying this mess from back then. And in my research and looking at different videos and different things, they started it, but they had to pull back. And then they came again a few years later. Huh? So they're working on our minds slowly but surely. And we believe that what we do comes from us. And we begin to accept this. This world is so full of deception. But deception is okay if we were interlocked and unified. You can throw deception at me all you want. I know reality. You ain't gonna fool me. But if we're not like this, and in the spaces of us not being connected, they can insert perspectives and ideologies and influence us through this phone that we worship so much. We used to have meetings. We used to meet at bookstores. We used to sit down with our parents and our forefathers, our elders, our families, and have high vibrational contact. But this digital way of being in contact is controlled by somebody else. We're not going to get the vibration through seeing someone on the phone and talking to them. We will feel this way because we know the person. We can say certain things, but it's greatly reduced. We can look in their eyes through the digital means, but it's not the same when it's eye to eye. And you say, no, it can't be. No, I'm telling you, certain things you know, certain things you download, certain things you know in your heart. Well, then how is it? If there's no power in your eyes, how is it that when you hold a cell phone up to your eyes and look into it, it will unlock? What is it connected with? See, we give our physicality, we give our essence to this digital platform, and it turns it around and processes it the way it wants. It's gaining from us to master us, but we're not gaining from it because it's greatly reduced. This is the way it works. It's the same thing like with the digital cash, the ATM, your credit card, your debit card. You can get hacked into, and they shut down the use of your card. Now you don't have a card to put in to the ATM. If they shut your system down, you have to now call up and prove that you are who you are. And if you don't have the right numbers and passcodes, well, guess what? Unless you prove it, you're not going to get through. You'll starve. You won't have their money to use for your purpose. You didn't need their money. And this is why they want to have a cashless society. See all these banana trees around here, papaya, mango, all this stuff? I don't need their money for that. And we submerge ourselves into their system so much, feeling as though, oh, this is the end thing. I got this card and I have this. I just got to wave my hand over this and I get the money. But they're controlling it, because what happens now, when they don't like what you have to say, the same way they do in China, that's why they have your social media out there. They know exactly everything about you, your voice, your face, your likes, your dislikes, the things that you say. See, I know I'm toast in their system. They got me, but they don't got me. I said it ironically on purpose, but they don't have me, but they don't got me. They don't, because I'm ready to leave it alone. It's been nice, cyberspace. It's been nice being Lancescurv. You know, that's who I am. Lancescurvin. Drop the I in, and I'm Lancescurv. But it's been nice. We're going to go back to, and I look forward to that. So they're not going to have me in fear, thinking, oh, well, I can't live without this thing. No, I can't live without the eye-to-eye human contact. That's what I crave more than anything else. The digital world has created more voids in your heart, and you are hungry for the real thing. It's just like when you eat junk food. The calories taste good, and you feel the calories in you, and it makes you feel full. This is why your mother or your caretaker said growing up, don't eat the junk food before you eat your meal, because you won't be hungry. You didn't care. Ice cream, the cheese doodles, Doritos, ice cream. But in those things did not have the nutrition that you need. So here we are, divided now, because we feel we don't need each other. because of the junk food of the digital world that we are consuming. You look at a woman now, gentlemen, and you can pass her by without really wanting to talk to her. Doesn't mean that you want to talk to every woman in a certain way. But when you see something that's appealing to you, you pass it by because you know at home you got that big jar of Vaseline and U-porn and red tube and what else? A hamster. Come on now. I know about them sites. We all do. The digital world has given you a sense of fullness that doesn't give you the real nutrition. So while you manipulate yourself, I'll keep it decent, watching these things, taking yourself to the peak, and you ladies, or how you do it, it takes you there, and you say, I don't need a man. But the physical now is put out of balance, but you still wish you could be held. You still wish that someone could hold you, and you wake up in the middle of the night out of a nightmare and they say, sweetheart, don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. I'm here. You got me. Somebody who can see that you may be having a down day, and before you say to them, listen, you know, I'm not feeling too good today. I know I'm strong, and I'm a little lonely. I need to see you today. I need to talk to you today. And that person, before you even say those words, comes to you and hugs you and say, let's spend a little quiet time together, and tells you positive things. But the digital divide will have you so messed up that this person will rag you for past things to the point where most of the time it's like, damn, if somebody had chopped my foot off, you'll probably cuss me out. Can we be a source of comfort for each other once again? Because that's what we had in the days that we had to endure the chains around our ankles and our wrists and our necks, and the lynching and the fear and the raping of our women and the castrating of our men and the babies pulled out of the stomach by that wicked one. We had each other. It's like the song Hard Times by Dr. Buzzard's original Savannah band that came out in 1976. Cherchez la Femme was the main song. I was 13 years old and I loved that whole album. I memorized every single word. But in the song Hard Times, I was a mature, romantic, passionate little young boy. But that song, close your eyes and rest your tired body next to mine. Nobody knows more than you these hard times that we're living through. And I used to be a little boy and say, wow, I didn't know nothing about no hard times living in my parents' house. But I felt the vibration. Now what that woman was singing, her name was Corey Day. Google or search on YouTube, Hard Times, Dr. Buzzard's original Savannah band. Oh, I love that song. And the horns in it and how it was and how soothing it was. Even before in life I went through hard times, I knew what it was that I needed to get me through. I saw my father, my mother, how they interacted with each other as a man and a woman, as husband and wife. Like this. They had their disputes sometime, but the dispute did not pull us away. So now that I'm older, and I'm so glad that I had the culture and the music in me, flowing through me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go upstairs when I get inside. I'm going to play that song now. Gentlemen, play that song. And tell me that song doesn't make you feel so good. Imagine yourself laying down in the bed, nothing sexual. She can be half naked, I don't care, but she's holding you, man. And we got to stop defining womanhood as just a sex thing. Why do we do that? Now, we know I'm married. Let's just remove that. As a man, you're home. And your woman is your comfort. And you for the woman is your comfort and your protection. I don't know how I got here, but I'm going to roll with it. And you laying there. And it doesn't mean that she has to be in the kitchen cooking for you. No, I don't mean it that way. But she's happy because you've provided for her as a man. You're securing her. So you're half asleep. You made love. And she feels so good, and she's whipping you something up, and you laying in the bed and you just looking at her physical form. Not because that's all you want, but that's a celebration of what you have. That's my woman right there, from head to toe. Now we know we don't own you, but you've been afforded to us for us being who we are to you. Because if we don't do what we have to do for you, guess what? You ain't gonna stick around when you realize that a brother ain't no good. And you spend the inside together, and you just look at that beautiful shape, which is a celebration of who she is as far as comfort is concerned. And she's so specially made, and you're specially made for her. There's time when you might be in the bathroom, number one, standing there, and the door's cracked, and she's just looking at you in your manhood. Not looking at your manhood. She might not see it, but you got your hand on your hip and you got your hand on your thing and you're just letting it go, and she just admiring you. Look at that beautiful man. I'm not saying beautiful man, right? Because I don't get down like that. But look at this man. So strong, so gentle, so loving. It's not the body or... See, because the digital divide has caused us to look at just that one thing. We separate it. We separate everything. So instead of seeing the whole total package, and because we've been hurt, and because social media and the music that has been changing its vibration now from love songs to I can do better on my own. Well, yeah, brother, come on over for maybe 2 hours. We have a little fun. It's just physical, no emotion, and then you get on out. What kind of mess is that? We've been separated. It's different now. I can't even say to young kids anymore. Like I said, Notorious Big, B.I.G., 2027 will be 30 years. Let's just say 30 years, right? If you're 30 years old and under, this is all you know. MySpace, when did that come out? 2022 or 3 or something like that? But if you're 20 years old or 22 years old, that's all you know. Just on the phone, just instead of eye to eye, your eye to device. And that's telling you how to vibrate in life. Do you think when you see 2 squirrels, one a little older, I don't know if in the squirrel hierarchy, there's the father and there's the mother and they're playing with the kids, but you have the older one who is playing with the younger one. And the older one is running up the trees and the younger one is chasing the older one. It's not that they're just playing. These are drills in nature. That older one is showing that younger one how to move its body and the capability of its body so that when it's not playtime anymore and something's coming for the life of that squirrel, it knows how to run and jump and run around because it's used to it. But now it's play. Now it's not serious. These times are very serious. And if you don't have the righteous training inside of you, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. These are some very serious times that we're living in, and the consequences are higher. The consequences of these days, when you make a mistake, basically, it's death. It may not be every situation, but it's more drastic. And we're not connected to each other anymore. We're not connected within ourselves. We're detached from ourselves. We don't know who we are anymore. We're so far off the mark. Like I said before, if Malcolm X returned he would be disgusted and feel as though he lived his life in vain. James Baldwin, Marcus Garvey, Dr. Martin Luther King, the later version, who regretted and said that he feels as though he led his people into a burning house. That one. They didn't want that one to live. That's why they took him out, because he wisened up. And all these decades after those times, it appears as though we've lost what little sense we had, because now we're so carnal, now we're so physical, now it's the lust of everything. No integrity anymore overall. If we were to have a report card in different categories, I'm just making this up in my head: integrity, self-respect, love for one's community, love for oneself, sympathy, empathy. I'm not going to say you who are watching this, because if you're still watching this, then you have a little more sense and interest in other things, because most people, well, man, what's he talking about, man? Click off that damn video. Doesn't matter to me, because I'm not going to have millions here. I'm not negative. I'm not fighting for that. I'm doing what's in my path. And I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. The community that we have now, I'm very happy. It will grow a little bit more. Some will fall off, some will catch attitude, some want attention, some this. I don't care. My path. The same way for you, your path. And if our paths coincide and run together, and there won't be times where we agree on everything. There'll be times where we don't understand all the time. Because you might be more advanced than me, and I don't understand you where you're coming from right now, right? And I have to catch up in my wisdom and grow with my insight to say, oh, I get you now. I understand you now. I didn't understand you 5 years ago because I didn't understand the effect of all of your life experiences that it had on you. Now I understand. And so from my point of view, for those, I'm not saying I'm above anybody or better than anybody, but in my development, I may be a little further along than some people who don't understand me now. And 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now, after I'm gone, they'll look at the videotape and say, I never understood that joker. I never liked him. But you know what? I can understand him now. But how are we going to understand each other unless we have direct communication that's not intercepted by the enemy on a digital level? The digital divide. Why can't we feed each other? Why can't we cook and take the love in our fingertips that comes from our heart and feed each other? Why does it have to be processed food? Why does it have to be processed music on a different frequency now? I'm looking around because it's getting a little dark over here, and these leaves that are blowing, I'm like, I hope it's not a snake, right? But I don't have to worry about them. It's the human snakes that we have to keep away from. But the digital divide, it has to get in between everything. But like I said before, if we're airtight with each other, nothing can come between us, like the Sade song. Nothing can come between us. Music is very important. And I don't understand why we have allowed other people who exploit us to control the music and infuse it on a digital level with messages that have shackles around our neck, shackles around our ankles, shackles around our wrists and our waist. I'm going to run in right now because it's getting darker. And I'm not scared of the dark, but all kind of things come out at night here in Africa. I'm not even worried about that. I do want to do a few more things before the sun is down. The next 15 minutes is going to be dark, but I just wanted to say that I've been writing a lot, y'all. I want you to see the things I've been writing. I wrote 4 articles today. I'm going to write 2 more tonight. And I want you to go to Lancescurv.com and put your email address inside the subscription area where it says email subscriptions. I think it says that. And put your name or a name and your email address. And every time I put up another article, it goes right into your inbox. From me to you. Not on social media where they can scrub it away. We want direct contact now, so we can communicate with each other, eye to eye. It's the only way to make it, right? So anyway, I rambled a bit. I had so much to do today, but I was determined before the sun went down that I'd come out and speak with you. And I'm determined that I can do this again tomorrow. I've been working very hard on so many different things you just don't understand. But when you see the results, you'll be pleased and we'll be on a whole new level. I can almost guarantee it, and I will guarantee it because we're right there. We're living in it right now. Remember, today is the tomorrow that you dreamed of. So today, what are you dreaming of for the future? And when you figure it out, you move toward it incrementally, baby steps, and sometimes you will have the back wind push you faster. But always move forward and always have something on your mind. For me, to sit still unless I'm resting is a crime, because we're all, as men especially, we need more real men to go out and have vision and dream and work towards something, instead of sitting here drinking and smoking and getting the beer belly and the alcohol belly and running our mouth and not producing anything at all. I'm a producer. And if I can't produce, I overheat and I get very angry. Like they used to say on the Hulk, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. That's not a threat. I'm a comedian sometime. But I love these backyard conversations, and I'm going to do more as much as I can, you know. So anyway, much love to you all. Take care. Lancescurv out. Don't forget to go to lancescurv.com and put in your email address into the subscription area. You can do it on your phone. You just have to scroll down a bit. Or if you want to shoot me your email address, I'll put it in for you. But you have to hit the button when it comes to you. You have to agree to it. I'm not going to put anybody, I'm not going to force it and be slick and artificially inflate my email list. You can send it to me and I'll do it for you, okay? You can send it to me on WhatsApp. My numbers, everything is down below in the description area. Send it to me one of those ways and I'll do it for you. Anyway, much love. Lancescurv out. On to the next one. Much love and peace.
Lancescurv.com. Bold, raw, and uncut.